Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a little bit since I have done a video and I apologize for that. The pregnancy has just taken it out of me and I have not had the energy or whatever to film a video, but today I have a little bit of energy and I'm going to be filming a few videos, so make sure you are subscribed if you are not already so you can see the videos that I have coming out soon. So today I thought I would do a little bump date. I don't know how often I will do these. Maybe after each time I go to the doctor, which is about once a month right now, because that's probably when things will really change. I mean, if something comes up, I feel completely different or whatever, I will do a bump date for that. But probably right now it'll be about after I go to the doctor each time. But before we get started, do you guys like my hair? Last night I cut it myself. I have never done that before, but I really didn't want to pay to have somebody cut it, and I was like, I can do this, no problem. I was a little nervous, honestly, but I cut like 5 inches off. If you want to see a before and after, there's a picture on my Instagram, and my Instagram name is in the description box. But yeah, do you guys like it? I hope so. I hope it doesn't look like completely ridiculous. I think it looks fine. But anyways, let's get started. So I am about 9.5 weeks. Normally what they base your due date on and all that is the date of the first day of your last period. And mine would put me at 10 weeks pregnant. We went to the doctor this last Monday and the baby was measuring at 9 weeks and 2 days. So I don't know. He's keeping my original due date, which is October 10th. That's my due date. So, I don't know, 9.5 weeks is what I'm saying I am right now. So, kind of rewind. I am going to be filming a video on how I found out I was pregnant, so keep an eye out for that. But, I took my first pregnancy test on February 8th, I believe, and, was a little shocked that it was positive, but I'll talk about that in the other video. And on February 14th, I called the doctor. Now, I don't really have a doctor here. I don't know. I just don't. I don't like going to doctors or dentists. They make me a little bit nervous, honestly. Like, eye doctor, I'm fine because I'm going to fail. But so I don't have a doctor. I don't go to the doctor as much as I should. Last summer I did go to a doctor here to get birth control, but that's really all. So I really didn't know who to call, what OB to get. I had no idea. And a lady a week or so before I found out I was pregnant, she had a kid. She goes to our church and she had a kid like 3 weeks, or not 3 weeks, 3 years ago. And so she was sharing a thing that I guess the doctor's Facebook page said they were taking new patients, and she shared it and said she loved him, and I was like, okay, why not? So I called them, we made an appointment. I called them on February 14th. Our appointment was scheduled for February 28th. And so we went, and I was a little nervous. Like I said, I'm not good with doctors. Plus, I knew I was going to have to give blood, and so I've never given blood, and so I was a little nervous. And so we got there. She took me back, and she took my blood pressure. She weighed me and took my blood pressure, and she was taking it, and she was like, "Are you a little nervous?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Yeah, I can tell your blood pressure's a little high." I was like, "Oh, sorry." So, she did that. Then she took me back to a room and just kind of asked me some questions about family history and medical history and all that jazz. Then I got to go back to the ultrasound room, and Michael came back there then, and we had our first ultrasound, which at this doctor's office, they can't like measure the baby. I hope I'm making sense with the story, but they can't measure it. So we did get to see sort of, it was like a blob. I mean, at that point I was like 7 or 8 weeks, maybe like 7 weeks. So it was just like a blob on the screen, but we did see the heartbeat flicker. So that was exciting. But since they couldn't measure it, they scheduled an appointment for us to go to the hospital the next week, and they would measure it and confirm a due date and all that jazz. which kind of stinks, honestly. We live in a small town, and our town has a hospital, but number one, it has a horrible reputation, and number two, they don't deliver babies anymore, which, based on the reputation, I don't know if I would go there anyways. So we have to drive. The closest hospital and OB is an hour and 15 minutes away. So it kind of stinks when they're like, all right, come back next week. I'm like, that's a long time. And Michael, if he goes to the doctor's appointments with me, it's pretty much a whole day off of work. So it kind of stinks. Plus, I'm a little nervous about when I'm in labor and we have to drive an hour and 15 minutes, and then we get there and they're like, oh, it's a little early, go home. Awesome. But that's in the future. So anyways, I scheduled that appointment, yada yada yada. We did all that. Scheduled our next appointment, went downstairs. It was like in the same building, and gave blood, peed in a cup, all that fun stuff. Like I said, I have never given blood before, and I was a little nervous. Like, I've had shots, never given blood. So she tried over here. She was like feeling on my arm for a vein, and she kind of felt one, and so she went in for it, and she wasn't getting anything, and I was fine up until that point. Then she started moving around trying to find the vein, and I was like, oh, it started hurting. Thankfully, she didn't do that for too long. She went in this arm and it was fine. She got it all out. Side note, blood work is fine. It came back fine. But while we were doing the blood work, I guess the doctor's office called down there and was like, can you have Megan come back up here when she's done? And we're like, I don't know why. Okay. So we got done there, we went upstairs, and this is where the downfall of that appointment came. They told us that they were out of network for our insurance. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they take that, but we have like a part of it, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. So they're in network for Blue Cross Blue Shield, but the little part that we have, they're out of network for, which stinks, like doesn't even make any sense. And a lady was a little nervous telling us because Michael was getting a little frustrated, but it was frustrating because we got there, she took our insurance card, she saw it, obviously she didn't really look at it until the whole appointment was done, until we gave blood, all that, and that's when she realized they were out of network. So that was really frustrating because like you had the insurance, like we had to just go through this whole appointment, and I don't know. So out of network is basically the difference of like if you're in network they'll pay 80% of stuff, if you're out of network they'll pay 20%. So it was quite a big difference. I mean, we liked the doctor, we liked it there, and like I said, I get nervous at doctors, so I really didn't want to change. So we came home and we looked at our different options, and ultimately we decided that the best was just to change doctors. And we looked online, and there's only one doctor there. There's a couple OBs, but there's only one that is in network for our insurance, and after that it's like 2 hours away, 2-3 hours away. Horrible. So don't get me started on that. So we changed doctors, and we went to that appointment on Monday, and thankfully this doctor is super nice, and we really like the staff better. They're way more friendly than the last one. So I think, I mean, I don't know, maybe that was God's way of just giving us a little bit better doctor or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to look on the positive side of it all. But we went to that appointment, and it was really quick. Actually, I think they were running a little bit behind because he had a delivery like right that morning that was unexpected, I think, and so everything was kind of going slow. So all they did was take me back, weigh me, take my blood pressure, talk to us about a few things, and then we went back to the ultrasound room with the doctor, and their equipment was better, and he could actually measure. And so he measured it, and like I said, the first time he measured, it was like measuring at 9 weeks and a day. The second time was like 9 weeks and 2 days, and based on that, it would put my due date at October 14th, but he was like, we'll just keep it at October 10th. You know, if something changes later on, we'll do it later on, but October 10th is where we're keeping it right now. let's see, we heard the heartbeat. I wasn't even like processing that that could happen on Monday, and it just started, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is our baby's heartbeat. So it was, I'm gonna tear up, but it was really like kind of like a surreal moment hearing the heartbeat. It was super fast. It was like 176 or something, which he said was perfect. He said everything looked good. The baby's about 2.5 centimeters, so super tiny. Trying to see, and the picture was a lot clearer, so you could almost actually see a little baby. In my mind, I like to think that I saw little fingers. That may not be true, but just let me live in my dream world. We got like three ultrasound pictures, and they're a little bit clearer than the first one we got, and so that was awesome and fun. And we made an appointment for 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, which comes out to be the day before our second wedding anniversary. So I just think that's fun. He told us that he may possibly at our next visit be able to tell the gender, which we were like, what? Like, that's super early. We were thinking like end of May, beginning of June is when we would find out. But we did a little bit of research, and apparently around 15 weeks, a doctor may be able to have confidence in the gender of the baby. So, I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up super high, because he said he may be able to tell the gender. So I'm not like, oh, we're gonna find out the gender next time. I'm just like, that would be awesome, and that would be an awesome. My dryer just stopped. I don't know if you heard that. But that would be an awesome second wedding anniversary present. So that's a really long story about my doctor's office. So I will just quickly tell you how I have been feeling. Tired. Before getting pregnant, I was a napper. Like, I like sleep. But since getting pregnant, I like legit have to take a nap every day, or I am just dragging at the end of the day. So I'm definitely more tired, hungry, which is weird for me. I mean, I'm a big girl, but I really don't eat that much. Before I got pregnant, I would eat breakfast like maybe like 9 o'clock or something, and I would be good and not really get hungry till like 1, and that's when I would eat lunch. Now it's like I eat breakfast at 9, and by 11 I am starving. I need food in me. No ifs, ands, or buts. Feed me now. So that's definitely been different. I have noticed that I get hungrier in the morning and like early afternoon. I get more hungry, as opposed to in the evening. I get full pretty quickly. I don't know if it's because my portions are bigger at dinner time. I don't know. Could be it. But I've just kind of noticed that. I have not thrown up. But I have been nauseous. The last week, the past couple days I've been okay, but last week I was just nauseous, and it was not fun. So I got some, I don't know if I have the box here. I did get some of these like Preggy pop drops, and they're okay, but most of the flavors are like sour, and that doesn't help me when I'm nauseous. So I eat peppermints. Before getting pregnant, I would get nauseous like in car rides and stuff like that, or after I ate a big meal or whatever. And I found that peppermints really help me feel better, and so those have been like a best friend the last couple weeks. Definitely gone through a lot of peppermints. But other than that, I'm trying to think if there's really any other differences. Just tired, hungry, been a little nauseous, headaches. I get headaches a lot normally. Like in high school, I got them a lot, and I went to so many doctors trying to figure out why. They basically told me it was stress and migraines. So I'm used to having headaches, but they've been a lot more constant being pregnant, which I did read as a side effect. So yeah. That's pretty much all. I have had a little bit of cramping, which before I found out I was pregnant, I was having those like cramps. And that's why I was like, well, my period's gonna come. But they're not as like strong as a period cramp. They're kind of like dull cramps. Like maybe like you gotta go to the bathroom cramp. So they're like dull cramps. It's a difference. I can definitely tell a difference in, you know, pregnancy cramps versus period cramps. But yeah, that is pretty much all. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, or if you guys want to know anything else, leave a comment. I will try to write back, or in my next one. So we go to the doctor April 10th. So that week I will definitely do another bump date and let you know how that goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I kind of just like rambled on. So I hope that was okay. But if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!